Hello, everybody, and welcome to Swampy Comics. I'm Swampy, and today we're going to be throwing the new comics that came out the week of January 28th, 2026, into the Guy Gardner tier list. And there's a whole lot of them this week, so let's just jump right in with Absolute Batman number 16, written by Scott Snyder and Nick Dragotta, with art by Nick Dragotta, colors by Frank Martin, and letters by Clayton Cowles. Um, last issue of Absolute Wonder Woman, we had Bruce crossing over into her neck of the woods, and hey, this time Diana's coming over into Bruce's story, which is really cool because in the in the Wonder Woman issue it was Diana going to Gotham City, and in this issue we have Bruce going to hell, looking for a way to cure Waylon. Um, I thought this issue was a lot of fun. Really just built on the rapport between these two, and already he only has one little use left of his Call of Diana coin in his bat belt. So should be interesting to see how he uses that in the future. But I like that it's not something that we're going to be doing a lot. We used up 2 out of 3 of the uses, and yeah, we only got one more, so that's pretty cool. But this was a really fun and funny adventure at some points with some callbacks to like issue 4, I think it was, the issue about the science fair and his dad, um, as well as just a really cool and badass fight at the end of the issue. Yeah, this was great. Not much to say, but I loved it. So we'll throw this one firmly in the A tier. Um, yeah, not a whole lot to chew on. Just kind of we just see Bruce at work in the first part of the issue, and pretty soon he calls Diana to help him with this. There's a little funny joke with Alfred feeding Waylon, which I thought was done perfectly. But yeah, this is great. I loved this issue, but I really, even more so, can't wait for issue 17, where we're going to be getting back into Bruce's story as the major focus. But yeah, I would say these first two crossovers in the Absolute Universe have been just mwah, chef's kiss. Great, great, great stuff. Next up, we have Absolute Flash number 11. This is written by Jeff Lemire with art by Nick Robles, colors by Adriano Lucas, and letters by Tom Napolitano. Last issue, we were left with Wally in what we now know in this issue as the still. I almost called it the still force, and me trying to correct myself, kind of the still point. That's what it was, the still point, um, which kind of seems is the epicenter of when Darkseid turned the absolute universe into what it was, and it's this red energy of creation. I don't think we're drawing any parallels between the red necessarily of the main DC universe, that which involves the life force of animals and all living things. I think this is something different. I think it's Omega energy, and I I don't know. This series just gets better and better because here I am now able to ask these questions, and there's a lot of mystery going on. Along with a major villain being exposed, we have reversed Flash in the Absolute Universe in the form of Eobard Thawne kind of coming out through the still point into the main world, and that is terrifying and awesome. I love the Rogues dynamic and their loyalty to Rudy West as he's trying to save his son Wally, of course. What else do we got going on? Oh, one of the characters that's hanging out with Barry Allen at the still point is named Nalak, very close to Sulok. So I totally did call it with the race of that alien um, last time I was talking about it. So it's always fun to be right, even if it's in a little tiny, pretty obvious way. But man, I really liked this episode or issue of Absolute Flash. It just hit on all levels. This is part 1 of a story arc called The War of Flashes. So I just can't wait to see what this has in store for us. Yeah, this is really, really starting to pick up as one of the strongest absolute titles. I mean, they're all really firing on all cylinders now. There isn't a weak one anymore. This is great. So yeah, let's pop it right into A tier. Next up, Absolute Martian Manhunter. We got issue 2 of our new storyline. Um, Absolute Martian Manhunter number 8 is written by Dennis Camp with art and colors by Javier Rodriguez, letters by Hassan Atsmain Al How. And, whoo boy, yeah, John's loneliness just goes further and further as the forces around him and in his agency seem to be wrought with weird metaphysical agents of chaos. Like I don't know what's going on yet, and I love this series for it. I mean, I'm just constantly guessing, trying to figure out what's going on. Just like I was during the first part of the arc, or the first part of the series during that first arc, and here I am again. I really like where this is going. I like the just the I mean everything about this. The art, the visual storytelling, seeing that his wife's hair is just a little bit longer now. This whole time has really passed as John's been separated from his family, and gosh, his kid just seems is I mean is definitely possessed by the white Martian, but it's just so haunting how he's acting and kind of seemingly making or manipulating the things that are happening. I'm just I don't know what to say. I'm just still trying to figure out what's going on while thoroughly enjoying this and everything about it. Yeah, what more to say? It's just a it's an S tier issue. This is just it's just good. It's just good. I'm gonna have to read it a second time, as with Absolute Martian Manhunter. Usually, how it goes on reading it the second time is when it really sets in. But yeah, I love this. So good. Works on every level. Next up, we got Absolute Wonder Woman, number 16. It's written by Kelly Thompson with art by Hayden Sherman and letters by Becca Carey. We've seen her before, but this is our first real look at Absolute Zatanna in full action here, and it's great. Not only that, but we have some really cool set dressing, so to speak, or setup or world building, however you want to put it, for the Absolute Universe itself. In seeing Diana kind of being a public face, unlike anybody else that she's, a hero alongside of at the moment in the Absolute Universe. Showing up to this history museum, basically as a favor to Barbara, and yeah, that the public. It's really cool seeing, in previous issues of Absolute Batman, we've kind of got hints that the public is on Batman's side in one way or another, and in this, we totally see that the public is indeed on Diana's side, and it's really cool to see. What is a bummer to see is Steve's side of the story, where the government clearly is not on Diana's side and is extremely suspicious of her, and I'm sure we're gonna have a lot to pull from that in the future. But right now we have Zatanna and some cronies coming to crash this history museum showing, um, and yeah, we have the Absolute Suicide Squad now. This is great. This is great. And on top of that, we're talking. Diana in her past is again dealing with one of the other goddesses that helped raise her, in Aphrodite, and meeting Artemis, and yeah, I mean, just this is so good. This is firing on all cylinders. Again, still one of the best books on the stand. Oh yeah, and Absolute Starro is now being introduced. So rather than bombs in the back of their necks, like in a Suicide Squad it would normally have, uh, it's Starro parasites. Yeah, how weird and creepy and great. This season of the Witch story arc, I think, is just gonna really, really uh, just solidify this book as being great. If in the eyes of those who don't think so yet. Yeah, I mean, gosh, near perfect issue of a comic book, S tier, without a doubt, without a doubt. But next up, let's move over to DCKO. The Kids Are All Fight, number 1. This is written by Jeremy Adams with art by Travis Mercer. colors by Andrew Dahlhaus, and letters by Dave Sharp. Um, yeah, we're kind of setting up the new Teen Titans book. Um, the class of characters that will be taking over the Titans book, I believe, is how it's going to go. But yeah, um, got Batgirl, Boom, Cheshire Cat, Fair Play, Quiz Kid, Arsenal. Well, sorry, Arsenal's on the side of things, but and Superman John Kent kind of hanging out with these kids at the request of Arsenal and Wonder Girl as they are taking on Grail and the forces of Apocalypse in the pages of the Titans comic book during all this DC chaos stuff. And the young kids want to go help, and John Kent is supposed to be babysitting, so to speak, and the kids go run down to Earth, and he has to go get them, and he enlists the help of Cassie Kane, Batgirl, to help them, and big fight with Granny Goodness and the Furies happens, and at the end, yeah, Static Shock comes out, and it looks like he's going to be a part of this team going forward, which is probably the coolest part of that book. I don't really have a connection to that character, but I understand he's a character that people really have a strong connection with, and people really want to see more of. So it was a cool pop to see him pop up in this book, but I don't know. All in all, this just wasn't for me, but it wasn't bad by any means. It just wasn't for me. So I think it's just gonna sit happily in the C tier, in an average tier for me. Yeah, you know, not bad, not great. Served a purpose well for. I mean, this DCKO event has been really good at making sure the right gaps are filled with what characters are doing what within certain books, and yeah, I think this is necessary to a degree, and a lot more necessary than Galactic Slam was last week, even though I liked that a little bit more. But yeah, this was fun. One character I do want to see more of is Fairplay, Mr. Terrific's kid. I think that's a pretty cool concept. A neurodivergent genius kid. Yeah, seems really neat. So I don't know. We'll see how this team shapes up in the future. Let's move on to our next book. We got G.I. Joe number 18. That's right. Written by Joshua Williamson with art by Marco Federa, colors by Lee Lawfridge, and letters by Russ Wooten. In this issue, we have the introduction to Roadblock, or of Roadblock, to the Energon universe. Um, you know, kind of catching up with on the side of that, we have catching up with Cobra Commander and Destro, and with the Dreadnoks coming to join Cobra, and Cobra Commander, of course, being one step ahead of Destro's deceitful ways. We'll see how that pans out for you know Cobra. I'm sure. I'm sure they'll just forgive each other and move on once that deceit has come to light. But yeah, no Zartan this issue. He was just the cliffhanger of last issue, so us Dreadnought fanatics are gonna have to wait a little longer. But it's really cool seeing Tomax and Zamot come and try to recruit Marvin and his business for basically Cobra fundage and operations. And after they don't take no for an answer enough time, they decide to attack him. And boy, that's the worst mistake you could have made, because Roblox does not take that sitting down. And yeah, this ruled. This might have been my favorite issue of this series so far. I just thought this was one of the most badass comics I ever read, and just so fun and funny in the right ways. And I mean, I don't think Williamson could be doing any better on this book right now. Yeah, S tier comic for sure. Like this is where I'm gonna be telling people to start if they want to get into GI Joe. Be like, start at 18. Just go. You'll be fine. You'll be fine. Yeah, this is great. Love, 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 love this comic right now. Oh, so good, so good. Next up, we got Green Lantern number 31, written by Jeremy Adams, with art on this one by Osvaldo Pestana Montfeller, colors by Romulo Fiordo Jr., letters by Dave Sharp. In this issue, yeah, Hal, is totally looking for help from his old buddy Barry, and an old powerless Barry has some stuff to deal with that he needs Hal's help with, and yep, just another fun buddy issue from this current run of Green Lantern stories, which I really like. Kind of Hal taking a vacation with buddies, Batman, Green Arrow, uh, just yeah, I really like this tone for Hal. Um, Not a whole lot firing off in this issue, though. Like, I'm a big fan of the Green Lantern mythos at large, and so I am ready for us next issue to kind of come back around to bigger things, so to speak. But yeah, I don't know. All in all, I had a lot of fun with this issue, and it was really silly and Silver Agey. Hal creating a construct around Barry Allen that would let him temporarily use his powers. Whatever. Um, that was fun. But not maybe not my favorite issue, most favorite issue of this run. Um, but nothing bad by any means. Again, um, I guess we'll put this one just a little bit above average here. We'll get it in the B tier. But yeah, let's move on to yet another Josh Williamson book. I mean, we're hitting the trifecta this week of his big titles. We did G.I. Joe. Now it's time for his new one, Iron Man #1. Of course, written by Joshua Williamson, with art by Carmen Carnero and letters by Joe Caramagna. And just like the cover says, a bold new era begins here. In this issue, we have Madame Mask and Advanced Idea Mechanics trying to create a new Tony Stark, not a new suit of armor, not a new variation on a power suit, but a new Tony Stark to maybe be the crux of their inventiveness from this point on. So that's fun to see, and it's also fun to see a totally douchey toning it up at a concert, pretend just being a total rock star dork. I love it. I loved it. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we got a bit of action in this. I mean, we're shooting in the power suit right off the bat too. Yeah, who's he fighting? Blizzard. Yeah, that's right. That's right. And yeah, I don't know. I can't wait to see where this goes. This is very much a #1 issue and a #1 issue done right. Um, but yeah, not a lot to say except for great. Let's go. Can't wait for more. Um, but yeah, I don't have a lot to break down for this one. I just thought it really worked. There's a lot of characters that I'm not familiar with, so it's hard for me to comment on whether or not they work or not within the context of this comic. We shall see for things like that. But all in all, right off the bat, I'm hooked. We're gonna throw this bad boy in A tier. Next up, we got our first of the Justice League books this year. The or this this week, we got issue 6 of Justice League Red, bringing this miniseries to a close. This is written by Saladin Ahmed, with art by Clayton Henry, colors by Arif Prianto, and letters by Lucas Gattoni. And in this issue, we have the Crimson Cloud, who's taken over Red Tornado, coming up against our Justice League Red and making Cyborg and Simon Baz and Power Girl just completely doubt themselves in lots of different ways as Deadman is trying to figure out a way to head this off. Um, but yeah, it all kind of comes down to our new character, Red Canary, getting a big showing of power here, showing what she can do. And yeah, this was fine. This is a pretty average, kind of by the numbers mini series, but I don't think there's anything wrong with that to a certain degree. This is certainly a decent trade to pick up when it picks up, and will probably sell good due to the diversity of heroes on the team. But yeah, I kind of wish Red Canary at this point would have been a little more of a focal point of this series. That would have been needed, I think, but it was cool to see her really shine here. Cool to get a Filipino American hero out there in the form of her. But this taking place all before DCKO, I'm wondering where her spot in things is going to be. I mean, she seems like a perfect shoe-in for the new Titans team that they're going to do. So I don't know. We'll see where she lands. But I don't know. All in all, this was a fine, fine deal. But just pretty average at the end of it. So it's going to land in the C tier for Justice League Red 6. And we will wave goodbye to that mini series. Next up, we got Justice League Unlimited number 15, written by Mark Waid with art by Dan Mora, art by Dan Mora and Sean Izaakse, with letters by Ariana Mar. The Terrific 10, Part 4. We have, just this team of heroes on the side, totally basically destroyed until it's just Mr. Terrific left. And he offers to make the ultimate sacrifice to Neron, which is a huge bummer. But luckily, he's headed off because Neron already has somebody who's done that, and it's Owl Woman. And yeah, I don't know. Pretty cool. Yeah, this Terrific 10 storyline has been a little bit of a mess for me. Um, in a good and bad way. But I felt like this issue was definitely the strongest of it so far. And really being able to look back at this storyline is less of a Justice League Unlimited and more of a just a Mr. Terrific storyline has helped me just kind of look at this as more about him and his character and just I mean almost anti-hero status with the cold things that he's willing to do to get the goal for the greater good to happen. Yeah, yeah, I just think this has gotten more and more interesting as we've gone along here, and I really really enjoyed this, and the turn at the end really did shock me. So yeah, I'm throwing this issue in A tier. Next up, we have Skinbreaker number 5. Written by Robert Kirkman with art by Dave Finch and colors by Annalisa Leone. In this issue, we have Enoch away from his tribe while the gatherers are suffering under Paka's reign. Enoch is there for him, doing things in secret to keep them well, to keep them fed in the face of just piss poor leadership, honestly. Um, and that all comes to a head because Enoch decides to reveal himself at the end of this issue, and spurred on by his father, even though Enoch saved Paka's life and Paka recognized that, his father will just not let the slights of the past go and just insists that the old ways be maintained and that Paka's honor must be um, avenged, and so Enoch is to be hunted down. Yeah, the next 4 issues are. I only got 3 left after this. Oh my gosh. The next 3 issues of this series are bound to be a lot of fun and action packed. I just think this is a great achievement. I've seen people give this story criticism for being too simple, and I'm like, what? In what world are simple stories bad? A simple story can be good. Simple doesn't mean bad. And does the art have way more moving parts than the storyline? Yeah, but that's fine. There's nothing wrong with that. We don't need. I mean, this it's just this is an amazing series, and this it just hits on all everything it tries to attempt to do, and I just love it. I'm getting all flustered because I'm getting excited to talk about a thing. But yeah, Skinbreaker, I think it's a classic, and it's a great time to be a comic book reader right now because look at this tier list. Everything's sitting near the top of the chart there. That's so great. We have 2 more books left. Next up, we got Superman number 34, written by Joshua Williamson, pencils by Eddie Barrows, inks by Aber Ferreira, colors by Alejandro Sanchez, and letters by Ariana Mar. And in this issue, we have a robot Superman, Superwoman Lois Lane, and Superboy Prime trying to figure out how to get to Clark so, they can tell him the things that he needs to know in order to defeat the DCKO tournament. And yeah, that doesn't matter because what matters is Superboy Prime is taking over this series, and it begins with this issue. And I love it. I love his character. I love who he is. I love how powerful he is. This just rules. Yeah. Um, as Earth is getting just turned into apocalypse, basically, Lois Lane and Superboy are trying to make wrongs right, all while being headed off by the Legion of Darkseid. And it's cool. We're getting some characterization from the Legion of Darkseid. Now that they're in this world, it's almost like they're seeing hope again, and they're being influenced by Superman to do things like be in love. Um, and because they weren't influenced by Superman, they're not friends, so they're not getting along. Now that they're out of Darkseid's direct hold, it seems like they're infighting already over petty things and slights to each other, and that's really cool to see. But honestly, not as cool as seeing Superboy Prime just with ease mop the floor with Lightning Lad and Sunboy. And holy crap, yeah, that whole because you guys are in big trouble because you just messed with my new BFF Lois Lane. Come on, man. This era of Superboy Prime as the head of this book is going to be totally awesome, and I cannot wait to see him just mop the floor with the Dark Side Legion over the next couple of issues. This is top tier stuff. So it goes in S tier, without a doubt. So good. All right, in our next book, last book, um, we got The Flash. Should be under F, but ended up getting put under T for the. So here it is at the end of the list. But The Flash, number 29, with its DCKO tie-in, Impulse Control, Part 4. Um, this issue is written by Mark Waid and Christopher Cantwell, with art by Vasco Georgiev, colors by Matt Herms, and letters by Buddy Bedoin. Um, I loved this issue. I'm not a Flash guy, just reading this because of DCKO. This ruled. This shot off on this just like Wally and Bart figure out they got to go back in time to make sure that Barry's origin isn't sabotaged and that he gets his powers. And the way that that played out was just so good. Like Bart getting out of his bed and stealing a car and driving through a wall and bowling over. Just mwah. I loved this issue. It was so fun. Um, I think the only thing that really brought it down is maybe I'm just maybe I just don't have the attachment with these characters that a Flash fan would have to maybe enjoy this issue to the fullest, and I honestly can't pin why. I think it maybe has something to do with the constant setup of I'm Wally West, and right now I'm running as fast as I've ever had to run before because this is happening and this is happening. I'm like, well, I mean, come on, we're at like part 4 of this storyline and issue 29. We're in the middle of DCKO. We don't have to set it up every time, but I feel like that's a thing. And to be fair, I mean, Green Lantern does the same thing with I'm Hal Jordan and I'm a member of the Green Lantern Corps. Da 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 da. And this is da 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 da. And I've been doing this since the United Planets. Blah blah blah. So I mean, I'm just being nitpicky. But yeah, I loved this. This was great. I think all these DCKO tie-ins are really just so good. Like I was reading things like some old events, Green Lantern centric ones like Blackest Night and Brightest Day, and the amount of tie-ins I felt like I could skip was just extreme. But these ones you could skip if you're not a fan of it. but they just add so much when all the moving parts are put into place and they all are actual, little gears that are hooking up into the bigger gears of this storyline, like instead of just bubbles that are branching off of a thought bubble of them, you know what I mean, like of the main story. But yeah, I just love this, the way they are doing this event. It's a lot of fun, and that's gonna throw the Flash in A tier this week. And as for the book of the week, I think, let me get it to the right layer here and make it large. But yeah, I think it's gonna be old. Oh, whoops. Nope, nope. You get back there because it ain't you. It's this one. It's a GI Joe. Um, this ruled so much. Like this, just I, I can't believe this comic is as fun as it is. Like it just everything it means to do. It's so good. And these other books that are in S tier and A tier for that matter are just, this is one of the best comic book reading weeks I've had since I've been buying comics since last March. This one was one to remember. Ooh, last week of January 2026. Holy crap! The week of the Williamson trifecta. Oh, what a good week to be a reader. Even the lower tier stuff was just fine and good. Like, just average at worst. Like, that gets me excited. I just realized I've been covering my face that whole time. So, thanks for watching. Like and subscribe if you could. Leave a comment below. Always love to hear from you folks. And see you in a day or two when we do our previews for the first week of February 2026. And until then, you stay safe out there. Keep reading.